My name is Jennifer. I grew up in Plant City, Florida.
My name is Jasmine. I grew up here in Tampa, Florida.
My name is Shania. I grew up in Silver Springs. That was always one of my best memories, just going to the lakes and hanging out, swinging off the swings, stuff like that.
My mom went through like a lot of domestic violence with her ex-husband. I did good in school, and me and my brothers were like very close, but we did see like, the violence. We went to the spring shelter, when it was time for us to flee. They basically told my mom to pick a place on the map, and she pointed to Pueblo, Colorado, and that's where we ended up.
But at 13, that's whenever things changed for me. Everything changed at 13. I started kind of sneaking out with the neighborhood kids, and it was just the thing to do to kind of walk around the lake and smoke cigarettes. So my stepdad at the time, I guess him and my mom had thought that maybe other things were going on. And so he had the talk with me, and it was more than a talk. This was the man who raised me from the time I was like 4.5 until, 13.
My older brother was just neglected and abused by my father and just mistreated from my mother's boyfriends. And so he really tortured me. I used to get bullied and beat up and put alcohol in my bruises. And, he was sexually abused, so it rubbed off on me. We both were sexually abused.
My first sexual abuse was when I was 4. Not my mom's ex-husband, but a boyfriend of hers at the time. Shortly after that, I started like acting out in school, with like my male teachers and just like seeking like all of this, attention. And, I also grew up without my father. So I don't know if like not having my father and then the abuse that I was experiencing like made me feel like loved and cared for,
At 15 years old, my at the time boyfriend traded me to a drug dealer, and I was then raped multiple times, where he was paid a certain amount for the time he had with me. And even later on, I wound up marrying this person and stayed with him for 20 years.
As a young teenager, a lot of men would try to lure you in with doing sexual acts for money, and so that's where the stripping came in. I realized I had 2 different personalities. I was Shania, and then when I would get back in my sinful nature, I was Isabella. I would hoard or stuff away who I didn't want to look at or what I didn't want to see. And when I became that person, it was like it was a puppet. I became a puppet.
I hung out with like older people, and there were older men who, wanted to have sex with me and were willing to pay me to do it. There were a couple times, where I would be sexually assaulted. And of course I wasn't gonna go like tell anybody, because I always had so much shame behind it, and I felt like nobody's gonna help me. They're just gonna say, you were so high and intoxicated, you don't know what happened.
I became cold and numb and just careless for myself and others because I didn't want to feel. I didn't want to feel because it hurt too much to feel.
I think I was just like sad and broken, and I didn't see hope.
I think she was that sad, lonely, abandoned, neglected little girl who just wanted acceptance.
I had gotten a year clean, and then I had gotten my kids back, and then I relapsed, and I knew that like if I didn't go get help, like I was gonna be right back where I was.
I was incarcerated for a short time, and I was given the opportunity to get out on just like short-term probation, and I denied that, and I asked to go to Created.
I thought I was gonna be a drug addict, prostitute for the rest of my life, and the program really saved my life. From the moment that I got there, like I just felt I just felt like security, you know, like I didn't have to worry about how I was gonna eat. I didn't have to worry about where I was gonna sleep. And just from the moment that I got there, they just loved me, you know, until I could love myself.
If Isabella was sitting next to you, what would you say to her?
I was in such chaos. That she'll get through it. That you'd get through it.
Hold on. Things will change.
I would just say that, you know, there's hope and things will get better and things will be different. You know, she's capable.
When I went to create it, I could see that they genuinely loved me, and I didn't know why, because everyone else abandoned me. And the one thing I was fascinated is like, they never forced me to love Christ. They only expressed how he loved me. He's my beloved. He's my savior, he's my hero, he's my healer. He's the reason why I'm here today.
All the years that I was like searching for acceptance and love and guidance and, you know, things that all children are supposed to be brought up with, like it was always there, I just didn't know it. As lonely as I've always felt, like no matter how hard things may get, I'm never alone. Like he's always there, he's everywhere.
The name Jasmine means gift from God. It just makes me feel like, you know, special and worthy and, again, capable and secure.
My name, Shania, means God is gracious. It's awesome.
Created as a way to share God's story of love and redemption to women caught in this sex industry. I think a lot of the women who we meet through our outreach services or that we might meet on a street corner, it's like they're just looking for a chance for someone to see them differently and for someone to give them an opportunity. And so I think it is that chance and that place where they can dream again. I think that's one of my favorite things about Created is to be able to ask women that question of like, what do you actually want to do with your life? Like, what do you actually want to be? Because nobody's asked them that. It's been since childhood that they've been exploited. And so nobody's given that chance to dream about their future. And so I think that's where Created comes in and we can be that place of empowerment and encouragement.